What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Hammerwatch 2. This is a demo that the developers fired over last week, and I had a chance to play around with it. I recorded an episode, but I think they modified the actual patch that the game is on or something because I can't load my old save anymore. So we're going to be going fresh today with this open world action RPG. It's going to be available in the Steam Next Fest. You'll be able to check out the demo there, and so I'll have a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, we'll also be able to go down there in the description and find a link to my Twitch stream and my Discord, just in case you wanted to hang out live. So far, I've been fairly impressed by the pixel art in this game. The way that it looks, it's a very, very gorgeous game. We're going to go ahead and dive on into the demo. There are no other scenarios to load, but it seems like the game is sort of angling for modding, maybe. I don't know if they're going to make like almost like a map pack, I guess, available to everybody. We're going to skip over all the dialogue text right there because there's a whole lot of it. Now, I played the game last week for about an hour and a half, like I said, and when I played the game last week, all of the classes were in the game, but there are other classes in the game. Right now, we can only pick between the wizard and the ranger, but last week, I could pick between the wizard, the ranger, the rogue, the paladin, and I can't remember if there was a fifth one, but all the classes were here, so there are going to be a number of different playstyles. When I played the paladin, he was very tanky, he threw a hammer, had kind of like a Diablo 2 type feeling to him with the Hammerdin vibes. I had a really, really good time with him, but this time around, I guess we'll just go with a wizard, I suppose. I don't like archers and people that fight from the back line, so honestly, wish the paladin was still here, but that's kind of the way she goes, I suppose. You do get limited character customization over here. It's going to go into your portrait. It affects the way that you appear inside the game world, and make sure that you like it because your armor and whatnot does not affect your appearance in this game. So as you put on armor and whatnot, it doesn't matter. You're going to be looking the identical same for the entire game. All right, I think I'm fairly happy with what my character looks like right now. I gave him kind of like a Red Wizards of Thay type thing going on. I'm going to go with the Cockney voice because I have this tradition in my life where every time I play Saints Row, I always take the Cockney voice. I can't help it. It's just the thing that I'm addicted to. So on our wizard, what kind of abilities do we have? It looks like we are down in the dungeon, and it looks like I can shoot like a little fireball with my left click. Okay, good to see, good to know. Red dragon scales over here. We're in the dungeon of a keep that was wiped out by a dragon who is kind of being like a jerk. What does that do? That's just like an AoE slam. Okay, I think I can live with that. And then what is our Q button? It's like a energy shield. Okay, looks pretty cool to me. We get like a, wow, did you see that effect right there where it fell away into particulate matter? How rad was that? That looked really good. Now this game is going to have a lot of crafting materials and a lot of things around that you're going to want to pick up. Everything from like wood. Go ahead and slam all those guys down. Everything from wood to metals to ingots to stuff like that. It's going to help you get to where you want to go. The game is also chock-a-block full of secrets. You will find brittle walls all over the place that you can knock down and get rid of, just in case, you know, you wanted to find yourself a little bit of extra loot. We do have a control menu as well. You'll notice we picked up some apples. They have kind of like this console-y menu that comes up when you hold down control. I'm guessing it's in order to make controllers feel better. But anyways, a very console-y menu that you use right here for using items. I would recommend that they add a hotbar so that PC players can actually use the native way that games like this tend to be played, and you can actually put consumables on that hotbar. Just give people the option here because I don't really like rotary menus. Never have, never will. Not a big fan of them. Couple more beetles down right there. And one of the things that I think struck me about this game first is just how good looking it is. It's a really good looking game. We'll go ahead and close off that tutorial. Hit a button over here. That's going to open up all the gates. And watch this door effect right here. It's got like a little 3D, almost like phasing out vibe to it. Looks really good. I like the doors a lot. I think visually they've made a lot of great improvements here to the Hammerwatch formula for people that are fans of games like Gauntlet. This guy right here, I think he just gives you like some tutorial text or something. I'm gonna break some barrels real quick. And down go the barrels. We'll grab a little bit of wood, and I think we're going to be on our way out of the dungeon. So welcome to the Overworld. This is where we are going to be wandering around from now on. It's up to you where you want to go and what you want to do, but off to the left, it has been my experience that there is a village, and you can meet up with people, and you can get quests, and there's vendors, and you can buy stuff. So I'm going to head that way so that we can get our adventure underway. It's also important to note that this overworld does have different weather patterns. They pop in and they look incredible. So like a rainstorm in this game is probably one of the prettiest things I've ever seen in a pixel art game. It just looks amazing. The game altogether has kind of like an Ultima 6 vibe. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Except it does, well, I mean, it does have a really big UI, but with Ultima 6, you had like a little tiny view window, like... Ultima 6 had some really unfortunate camera decisions, despite the fact that I like it a lot. This lady right here's got a quest for us. You're back and alive, most likely thanks to the potion I made you, right? Well, if you need another one, I'll be glad to make you one for free, but I would need a new flask and some amaryllis. Yeah, there's crafting in this game. You can make stuff and things if you would like to. I'm going to head off down to the southeast, though, because that's where the village is. So there we go. Talk to this guy. Good day, sir. I'm Wilhelm from the Explorers Club. Well, not yet, but soon, I hope. Can you help me out? I've got a simple chore. You just need to locate some signs for me. Okay. I will do that, I suppose. And then, oh, we got red dye, so I assume you can change the color of your clothes if you want to. This guy has beetles in his basement, so we're going to go ahead and wipe out the beetles in his basement. Don't really want to sleep upstairs. Oh, yeah, the basement's over here. I forgot where it was at. We'll go down in the basement, see if we can get ourselves into a little bit of trouble, maybe pick up some treasure, maybe level up a little bit so I can show you the progression systems. Got some iron ore right there and 29 nickels. I'll take my nickels. Small empty bottle. Good. So once I get my amaryllis, I think we should be able... I kind of want to test out the shield. How does the shield work? I don't know, actually, if the shield protects me, because I just took a lot of damage when those beetles done bit me. The good news is it seems like I have decent HP regeneration, so I think it's going to be alright. Keep shooting some fireballs. Man, I want to be in glorious melee right now. This finger-wiggling stuff doesn't work for me. Listen, I don't play wizards. I don't play rangers. I don't play anything but barbarians, fighters, paladins, guys that are up in the dome piece, clerics, guys that are going to be in the fray with the screaming and the din of battle, taking scalps. That's how I like to live my life in games like this, all right? So being in the rear with the wizard right now feels a little bit odd, feels a little bit strange. Not going to sugarcoat it. We'll drop that right there, kill a couple more beetles, pick up some more loot. I will say this, though, the wizard does have the ability to wipe out a lot of enemies at once. Now, there's lots of optional areas in this game. That's another thing that you need to be aware of. So you see this cracked wall right here? Bum, bum, bum. This doesn't just lead to a treasure room. This leads to a whole different dungeon that has an objective inside of it that is also marked on the surface. Like there's a spot where you can look down a hole and it says you see something glowing down there. And you're supposed to wonder how the hell you get there from Donnie's basement. There's a whole dungeon down there, but we don't have that quest to do that dungeon yet. So we're not really going to get rewarded for doing it, so I'm not really going to do it. Splendid, my shop is now open again. So with Donnie over here, you can go to the shop, and inside the shop, you can buy crafting materials. Ooh, there's a beam. Hold on, I didn't know that I had a beam. How do I get the beam? I want the beam. Oh, my book affects what magic spells I can cast. Oh yeah, dude, that's the stuff right there. Why was I even messing around with the other ability? I love Death Rays when I play Grim Dawn. Death Ray when I play Diablo 3. Death Ray when I play Path of Exile. Death Ray. I'm a Death Ray addict. But inside this shop, you'll notice this game also has Metroidvania influences and other RPG influences. So there's shovels so that you can dig up treasure. There's axes so you can cut down trees that might be in the way to get to new paths. There's a frying pan so that you can cook your own meals. There's a fishing rod for a fishing mini game. There are sextants, there are ropes, there's all kinds of utility items that will help you get past like environmental things in the game so that it feels like a real D&D adventure. That guy, he wants us to go murder pirates, and since we exist inside the realm of magical extrajudicial executions, we're just going to go do that, and we're not even going to question it. We're just going to wipe them out. That guy wants us to go and kill wolves, and this lady over here, it looks like she wants us to go grab some wine, and her granddaughter was supposed to have it, but she's missing. Fair enough. Let's grab some apples over here so that we've got a there's the thing right there where it says you look down the hole and there's a foul smell. The other dungeon leads to what's on the other end of that foul smell. The Earth Sphincter. Sphincter is one of those really loaded words in English, but it's just so much fun to say. You just can't help it. There are loads of items in this game that you can pick up by walking over the top of them, like mushrooms and whatnot. Those are going to be useful for cooking meals once you actually have the frying pan. Here's some pirates over here. Oh, it's got a cooldown. Okay, so if I let go of the button, perfect. That's exactly how I like my pirates, a la flambe. Let's see if we can find their lair down here. Spoiler alert, I know where the lair is because this is what I did the last time I played the game. We'll go ahead and wipe out the pirates down here. Oh, looks like we get like a little damage over time effect too. Nice. Gray wolf fur right there. Might be able to make ourselves a badass mantle. So that, you know, you got to have like, it's like those guys in the Roman army, the signifers or whatever, the guys that would hold the Aquila, and they would have like a lion's head on their head or like a wolf's head on their head. I think it was the guys that were in charge of the, what were they called? The auxiliarii. I think it was the guys that like were the flag holders for them that had the wolf. And then the guy with the lion was actually holding the signifer of the legion or whatever. That guy's down, but then again, my classical history is not the best. As you may have all guessed over the years of watching my channel, I tend to like read something one time on a Wikipedia somewhere when I'm on some kind of weird knowledge binge, and then it just sits in my head with the neurons playing telephone with it for a little while until I completely and totally just regurgitate the information out wrong. Here's the pirate lair. Let's go ahead and get piratical down inside of here. I haven't explored the entirety of the island yet, so I don't know exactly how large it is. But it does seem like there's things to explore because, you know, I've still been finding optional dungeons and whatnot while playing around with the game. It looks like when we play ranged, we're honestly pretty safe. What I really liked about the Paladin is you had to time your blocks and whatnot in order to eliminate enemy damage, and you had to like time your dodges to go along with those blocks. It gave a very, very satisfying gameplay loop. You see that tripwire right there? There's a booby trap right there. These will also explode. Attacks in this game, they don't just hurt you, they also hurt enemies, so make sure you're using environmental hazards to kind of like make your experience easier when it comes to piratical slaughter. That guy's got a crossbow. Man, he is kiting like crazy. There we go. We'll knock him down. Wipe out all the environmental things in here to maybe get paid a little bit more. We got some ripped fabric. There was also a spot over on this side where it looked like we could loot. Oh, I need a toolbox. Okay. I don't have a toolbox yet, but maybe someday I'll have a toolbox. I forgot to talk to the crafter guy in town. There's a crafter guy in town that gives you a quest to get a toolbox out of this place. And that prompt right there for crafting just reminded me. All right, you guys be dead. Give him a little bit of the old crackle. He's now down from a damage over time effect. And let's keep on going through the dungeon. They've got like pirate grenadiers down here. Some talk of Alexander, some talk of Hercules. Some talk of bold Lysander and heroes such as these. We'll go ahead and wipe these guys out with a Tau Rao Rao, so on and so forth, to the pirate grenadiers. Wipe that guy. I've got like a weird thing for music, man. I hear like lyrics or a song, so like I'm like really, really dumb, right? I don't remember things. I have the short-term memory of like a goldfish. Like, it's not great. I got a really bad short-term memory. But the one thing that I hold on to like a steel trap is my entire life I've played music by ear. And the weird thing about that is I can't read music. I don't know the notes or anything else, but I have been playing for 20 some odd years. And like, the weird thing is, being an ear player for so long, I hear lyrics or I hear a tune once, and because the way my brain listens to music is charting it across like a keyboard or across like a fretboard as I'm listening, because that's what you do in your head when you're an ear player. Because I do that, I tend to hold on to melodies and I tend to hold on to lyrics mentally like forever. They just never go away. I hear a tune like one time and it just stays in my head, ready for accessing at any moment. Odd thing about my brain. We need a key over there. All right. A royal compass. Cool. I'll take a royal compass. These up here are for your tools. That's probably why they don't have a hotbar, as I'm guessing your tools are going to be on the 1, 2, and 3 keys. But hopefully they allow you to re-keybind, because I still want to put like my consumables and my eatables and my foodles on hotkeys. There we go. Down go the pirates. I really like that crackle lightning effect. It looks good. I'm out of mana again, though. Down goes the enemy. Have we leveled up yet, out of curiosity? So this game has a couple different progression systems, and I like them all. So in the case of our character, we are an apprentice. As we level up, we will move down this tree. It will give us access to new actives and new passives. We have attacks that we can do here. And every single attack has 4 different categories that you can level up with these upgrade points that you get along the way. And it's going to make them behave in different ways and do different things. I don't know what happens when you max these out. I didn't get there. I think the highest I got was like 3 out of 4 with an ability, because I wanted to see if there was like a mastery or something you got on the top, but I can't honestly tell you. For right now, we can buff up our Arcane Grimoire. I would like to make my Grimoire lower the cooldown and mana cost so that I can shoot lasers more effectively, because I do plan on using wizardy death lasers until death do me part. Like, I don't really plan on using other abilities. He tried to get me with the hook shot. That guy did get me with a bomb. Ow! Okay, yeah, bad things are happening. Go ahead and use an apple real quick. Rotary menu works all right while you're running around. Pirate Captain's scarf right there. Problem there was that I ran out of mana. I probably should have hit that explosive barrel too. That probably would have been the smart way to do it. We're going to need some more damage, too. Damage can actually factor into mana efficiency in an action RPG like this, so we can focus on making the spell cast less to cost, but you know what else makes a spell cost less to cast? Killing the enemy outright in 2 seconds rather than it taking 8 seconds. Just an observation that I think we're going to have a little bit of both. Do you want to have mana efficiency or do you want to have damage? To that I answer resoundingly, porque no los dos. Why not both? What's up, pirates? How we doing up here? We just hanging out doing pirate stuff? You know, the people in town said that they had a pirate problem, but this seems more like an infestation. I don't know why you would send one adventurer to handle this. This seems like they have kind of like an army down here. They have a full flotilla. You guys don't have a pirate problem. You have a pirate invasion. Stay away from the bomb. There we go. Take a little arrowing to the face, but it's okay. I regenerate. Everything's going to be fine. Now, you may have noticed the huge amount of meters that are on screen right now. What are these huge meters? Left, you have your health and your mana going from the outside to the inside. Right side, you have your stamina and your XP from the inside to the outside. So we pretty much went left to right there. We can go down. There is a separate dungeon underneath this pirate dungeon, but when I went down there, I did find some loot and I did find some goodies. But I don't think it's part of the quest that all the townsfolk wanted me to do. I also don't know if enemies respawn. If enemies respawn, I want to go back to town and get the toolbox quest, but I'm worried that if I leave the dungeon, they're going to respawn on me. Oh, that was a booby trap. Okay. Yeah, I'll eat a carrot. Why not? Kill off a couple of those guys. How many of you are over here? I actually kind of want to raise the attack speed on my left click, too, so it's like pop, 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 like a little... I want to have like a wizarding Mach 11, you know what I mean? Just brat, 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 for lighting people up. I like the rapid fire weapons. Like, I'm not a big fan of burst fire. I'm not a big fan of single tap, like semi-auto. I like the guns that go brrrt. Like, I like it to make that noise right there. That, to me, is the ideal form for a gun to take. And there's another level up. So this time around with the level up, I can make things more efficient. Your spells cost stamina instead of mana when your current mana is below a certain threshold. That's not bad. I'll take it, but I think we have to max out the tree before we can get that one over there. What about with my arcane bolt? Can I do anything with it? So that will give us more damage. That will increase the size of an explosion that we're firing at somebody. And to be clear, this is the right spell, right? Okay. Let's upgrade the explosion size. And then I think I'll take a little bit of damage. Speed and range. What does this one do? Additional projectiles but costs mana. Okay, they're going to have to make me contemplate that one. Oh, it reduces damage taken. So it doesn't stop damage taken, it reduces it. But when I get hit, it didn't feel like it reduced very much, so it probably needs some upgrades put into it. I think that one AoE'd. It lit a couple guys on fire, so I think it AoE'd. What else am I looking for down here? Dungeon's pretty big, actually. This thing's got some size and girth to it. We did get a circlet, actually, when I was going through my inventory. So we got a new piece of equipment. This game has a Diablo 2 style randomized affix-based system where all of the loot that drops is random, and it all uses kind of like icons to get the point across. So this guy over here, I think, gave us some mana regeneration. It also gave us better guard. It is for an apprentice rank, so things don't go by levels in this game. So it'll be like, it won't say like you need to be level 3 in order to put on this helmet. It'll say that you need to be a journeyman to put on this helmet, which means you need to get far enough down your level up tree to get to adept and expert and so on and so forth to equip the requisite gear. Still, I will take the bonus. Hopefully we'll find a few more goodies while we're rattling around too. I don't honestly super know what I'm looking for. Oh my. The regeneration actually seems to be helping a lot. I noticed that our mana was not going down nearly as quickly because the regeneration was taking a chunk out of it. Very nice. That guy vomited at me, dude. My dog, so like my neighbor, I think has like a pond in their backyard. And like this week I went out to do the yard work, like to mow the lawn and to clean up the dog turds and stuff like that. And upon doing so, I found that my yard was just inundated with like these little tiny like dime-sized frogs. They're like everywhere. And so I was like, all right, cool. I don't want to turn my backyard into a disgusting frog blender. Oh, wait, they're frogs, dude. They'll leave. Like, they're, you know, frogs have kind of like a short life cycle. And so anyways, I was like, give it a little bit of time. The frogs will move on, and then I can do the yard work without having to feel like a terrible genocidal anti-amphibian maniac. But I had another problem. When I let my dogs out, there was a chance that they would see the frogs and eat the frogs. So for like half the day, dogs did not notice the frogs. Like, they would be walking around the backyard, and I could see like frogs near their feet and stuff like that. And the dogs hadn't noticed at all. And then one frog made the mistake of jumping, and my Labrador Retriever saw that, and then he started to look around, and you could kind of hear the horror movie violins that are like, I don't know what that's called when they do that in like a horror movie, but you could tell, you could see it in his eyes as he was looking around. He was like, they're everywhere. And then he spent like 5 minutes eating frogs and digging them out of the grass before I could stop him. Just running around eating some frog. You know what I mean? Well, he got sick. Apparently the frogs are like minorly poisonous because he was up all night yakking. He's totally fine now, but I had to get up with my dog like, you know, every 8 seconds. In order for him to go out and just be like, "Ah!" and just be like dog vomiting everywhere. Fantastic. Occasionally in dungeons, you'll see little posts like those ones over there. I assume those are for some kind of like grappling hook or hook shot or something that lets you get around the dungeon quicker, because it looks to me like there's inaccessible areas that you just can't get to until you have whatever. Maybe you need a rope for it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe you don't need a hook shot. You just need like an adventurer's rope. I don't know, but I just realized that this entire quest is kind of a fetch quest. Like, we just need to come down here and get, like, 7 pirate bandanas. So I'm going to farm those out, I guess, maybe? Okay, I take it back. I don't want to farm pirate bandanas. I'm good with non-farmage right now. We got some very wet wolves out here, but they did drop a couple of gray wolf furs, and those are going to be for one of the quests that we have. Our main quest is that we need to get back to the mainland. This game appears to have some kind of sailing or some kind of, like, aquatic nature to it. But we got to find like a resistance base here somewhere on the island. And then once we find the resistance base, we've got to also go back to the mainland after like fixing a boat and like solving the island's problems or something. As you can see here, this is one of the random weather systems that can come through. I've seen fog, I've seen rain, I've seen fog with rain, I've seen sunny with like God rays and things coming down out of the sky. All of them appear to be really pretty. I think a lot of work has been put into making this game look really presentable as far as games go. With the treat the threat. Oh, we need 15 wolf furs? Good lord, that's a lot of wolf furs. Hey, you can interact with the wanted thing over here. Roland Steelwill is wanted for crimes against the crown. Dead or alive, dead preferred. Okay. The reward is a shake of the king's hand. I don't know, like, I'm more... I like financial compensation. What is the financial value of a handshake from someone that's an important... Not intermediary, actually like the head of state. Like, what is the dollar value on top of that? Like, how many sandwiches can I get for a regent handshake? Oh my god. Okay, yep, there's wolves everywhere, and they are hiding in the bushes. Got a very real bush wolf problem out here. But I did get some wolf liver, so that's cool. I've never had liver. Liver was kind of like outlawed at my house when I was a kid because my dad grew up eating liver and onions all the time and like hated it, and so we just never had liver at my house. Same thing with my mom and Brussels sprouts. We never had Brussels sprouts because my mom hated them because she grew up having to eat them. I don't know what my thing would be. Like, what is the thing that my family liked to cook and eat all the time that I hated, so now I never eat it as an adult? I would say probably lima beans and green beans. Like, and it's not, I'm not even against green beans. Like, I like fresh green beans, but when I was growing up, our family was kind of like broke, you know? And so, like, we got these frozen green beans, and when you would heat up the frozen green beans, you could feel them, like, squeak like rubber across your teeth. So they'd be like, squeak-oo, 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 while you were chewing them. Oh, they were so gross, dude. They were just unbelievably gnarly. And I'd be lying if I said that it didn't give me, like, some kind of bias against, the old greeny beanies. Couple of bugs over here. We'll go ahead and zap them down. But yeah, everything feels great with this game. I have not noticed anything that annoyed me so far. It was expressly obvious when I was playing a melee character that the dodging and the blocking, it all felt very good. It felt very visceral. It felt like it was happening as I was pressing the click and without a delay. Dodging feels really nice. Hitboxes all feel super fair. I've been good with the soundtrack so far. The pixel art is utterly unbelievable. You can tell that they really, really cared about making this game hyper gorgeous. Why is there an exclamation point over here? Hyper gorgeous was what I was leaning towards. There you go, big dog. Go ahead and take a nap. Am I going to need all these beetle scales? I've marked this one already. Is that one of the signs that the guy wanted us to look for in our quest? A guy wanted us to go find signs. Oh, the die was for the quest, so the red die, apparently, is we've got to find 5 signs down here while we're farming wolves. Okay, well, that's one. I know you have no mana. It seems to be something that afflicts us frequently. Loot is not dropping at the rate that I expected. We've only got that one circlet so far. Last time I played the game, loot was dropping left and right. My paladin had loot just like falling from the sky. I couldn't even equip all of it. I had so much loot. This time around, not so much. May want to raise the loot rate a little bit on like drops and random things. One of the things that I think is very, very good about modern action RPGs is how much loot they drop. Like when I kill a boss, I expect to see like 2 or 3 yellows drop that I can parse through. Maybe not like a legendary, but, you know, give me something to play around with. Couple more wolves got that wolf had an apple on him. Apparently he's more concerned with keeping the doctor away. Do I have all the furs that I need yet? Like, are we good on that front? How many furs do I need? One more fur and we can get out of here. Now that means that I still haven't found the signs, but this would be a perfect opportunity for me to go all ace of base. Oh, it tells you when you're done. Well, there you go. I'm gonna go find the rest of the signs. Hey, cracked wall down here. We can see what that leads to. Oh, one of our signs. And a treasure chest. Cool. The wizard's right hook. Oh, cool. It's like a legendary stick. Nice. So it gives me more damage, but it scales with strength, interestingly enough. Huh. Curious. We do get skill points, by the way. I have 10 of them. So if you wanted to increase, you know, your strength, it would raise your HP, and it would raise your HP regeneration, you wanted to have more mana, you would put things into intelligence, and then I think dexterity is just your stamina and stamina regen rate, but everything is in here. There's movement speed to armor to all kinds of goodies down in here that you can play around with in order to customize your character. Well, I did the wolf cave, but unfortunately, it was like cut in half by like a big craggy area. And so with the big craggy area cutting everything in half, I think we've got to find another way down into the cave, which I think is right here on the outside. Now, I do like that interconnectivity. I think that's actually pretty cool. It also allowed me to finish my quest. So now we can go back to town and see what our rewards were and call it a day. It is nighttime right now when we get back to the village, and as you can see, the game comes with a full array of lighting effects that have been added on in, little bloom filters and things that make the game look a little bit better during the nighttime. It is 2 in the morning right now. I'll probably just sleep till 8 then. That feels smart. Now this guy right here, we have a quest for him. Let's see, while you were gone, the pirates came and kidnapped Captain Summer. Okay, I will see if I can recover your Captain Summer. You murder any pirate? I've killed so many, but they don't always drop the quest item. I've killed like 100 of them, and I've gotten 2 of the quest item. There we go. So we've killed off the wolves, so that person is now happy, and we have been given a reward. We've also got, nope, no skill points, but we do have some gloves. So some gloves that increase all of our stats, our armor, and they make us regenerate a little bit faster when it comes to our stamina. So I will take that. Over here we have the crafter. It looks like we can enchant and we can disenchant things. And so, oh yeah, looky there. So you can take an item, you can add things to it, and it'll swap the stats around. And if you've got a rune, you can upgrade the values on it too. Kind of cool. I'll take it. Kind of awesome. Yeah, I don't really have too many complaints about this one. It is an open world RPG. If that's what you're looking for, you only have like 4 abilities per character, and like one of them's a dodge. So, you know, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more stuff you could hotbar in, I think. I don't tend to be a fan of things that have really tight sets of abilities like Guild Wars. I like to have like hotbar gore, where I have like a million different abilities that are all situational and like memorizing them all. That's purely a taste thing on my part. Some people really, really like the tight, like 5 ability layouts for some games. But everything is fine with this game that I've seen so far. Everything is fine to great. I have not really... The only thing that I've seen that I'm not a big fan of is that your armor doesn't change when you equip different armors. But given the fact that they use little sprites for everything instead of little 3D guys, it'd be really, really difficult to pull that off. And so I don't blame them. It's not that huge of a deal, like budgetary constraints being what they are with little indie games. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all later. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is Hammerwatch 2, a little preview of sent over by the developers. I'll catch you all next time. Take care, everybody, and that's all I got.